everyone, I'm Dana Brown, Xojo's Director of Marketing. In this tutorial, we are going to focus on one of the features added to PDFDocument in 2021 Release 3. This is the ability to add transparency support to any of the items you may add to a PDF document, ranging from text to forms or even pictures. Additionally, as part of the transparency support, PDFDocument also supports the alpha component value found in any color instance, and also the alpha channel from any picture added to the document, such as in PNG files. The combination of all of this brings more flexibility and creative options in the creation of your PDF document. Let's start reviewing the code from our example project. The first thing you'll notice is that we keep using the same methods and properties available in the Graphics class. In fact, the first thing we do after creating the PDF document instance is to assign the graphic context of the PDF document to a regular graphics variable. Then the next chunk of code is just about some of the required initialization for the drawing of several items in the page, like calculating the X and Y coordinates for centering objects in the page, or the initial transparency value. The next step is drawing the content in the first layer of the page, the text transparency, with a font size of 90 points and the font style set to bold. The content of the second layer in the page is the drawing of a PNG image that has been added to the project and whose background is transparent, meaning that it will reveal the contents put in the layer behind it. The third layer added to the page of the PDF document is the drawing of a strip of rectangles using a variable amount of transparency for each one of them. This is what is done with the next chunk of code after setting a random color as the initial drawing color for the graphics context. Then this for next loop will be in charge of drawing the rectangles using a transparency value that is decreased in each step. When the transparency reaches the minimum value, then we can change the sign of the offset so it is increased. For drawing the rectangles, we only need to call the fill rectangle method on the graphic instance, passing along the X and Y coordinates and a fixed value for the width and height. As you can see in this line of code, the value of the transparency property is changed in each loop step. That value is the one stored in the T-level variable. Then the nested loop is in charge of drawing more filled rectangles in the vertical axis that are hanging from their parent rectangles. These small rectangles are also using a variable amount of transparency in its drawing. Once the code completes the drawing of the third layer in the page, we start drawing the fourth layer with the text comes to PDF document. Notice how we rely in the alpha value of the drawing color instead of relying on the transparency property of the graphics context. In this case, we are setting 127 as the alpha value for the color, which translates to 50% of opacity. Next, we set the character spacing property to the value we want to use for the drawing text. And that's all. So in summary, once we execute the project, we will get a PDF file with an image whose transparent background will reveal the text contents below it. Next, a strip of rectangles above the image that will have a variable amount of transparency. And finally, in the most front layer, a new text drawn in white color with the alpha value set to 50%. The level of transparency will reveal both the rectangles and the image that are below the text, and also will project the mix of colors or tint as a result of the colors that are behind each character in the text. So if we run the project, we get exactly the expected PDF with the right amount of transparency on each layer of content. Of course, and as you would expect, the text remains vectorial and editable. We also can see how the text in the upper layer mixes with its original color, white with a 50% of opacity, with the colors from the layers drawn behind it. If you have any questions about using PDF transparency in Xojo, please put them in the comments below and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you're notified when future videos are posted. Thanks for watching.